WLTV from Walled Lake Western High School is very happy to be producing this video, Welcome to the Commerce Township Community Library. Along with the Walled Lake Schools Commerce Township and of course the Commerce Township Community Library staff and board. Libraries are the new gathering places in communities, and this new Commerce Township Community Library is no different. It took over a year to construct, and its grand opening was on Tuesday, January 17, 2017. Now let's go inside and I'll show you around and introduce you to the staff. Now we are here with Commerce Supervisor Dave Scott. Although you are new as the Commerce Supervisor, how exciting is it to be a part of the opening of a new library for the Commerce community?
Oh, it's an amazing event. It's an amazing service, and I'm so happy to be part of it, to bring this opening to the community.
That sounds like a great community event to be a part of. What are your hopes for the new facility?
I really hope that the entire community, from kindergartners to senior citizens, business people, to stay-at-home moms, everyone embraces it, realizes it's here for them to use, and explores the boundaries of this building. There's so many things for people to do.
That seems like a great way that everyone can get involved. I understand you didn't have a bond election for the library. How was it funded?
It was funded through Commerce Township, saving all of the tax dollars dedicated to the library over a period of 10 years. It took a lot of thought, a lot of planning, which avoided any special millage or bond issue whatsoever. So kudos to my predecessors in accomplishing that task.
How are you planning to utilize the library for Commerce Township business?
It's going to be available for the community use in total. We're excited to announce that the Walled Lake Consolidated Schools Art Exposition is going to be held in the Commerce Township Community Library in the month of May. I believe it's May 22nd with a highlight on that Wednesday, but check the calendars to be sure. It's going to be an opportunity for us to see all of the art that's being produced from kindergarten to 12th grade here in the school in a week-long process to increase the opportunity for moms, dads, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, families, and the entire community to see the art on display.
How is the site of the library selected, and is it unique that the library is in a park?
The park is a unique setting. It allows us to interact between the soccer, the social, the hiking, the outdoors. The site itself was originally supposed to be Northwestern Highway. Over the years, Commerce Township acquired the property and was able to utilize it as a target site for placing the library centrally located close to Commerce Elementary, Walled Lake Northern, Walled Lake Central, and a vast majority of our population in total.
I'm now here with Library Board member Barb Garba. How long have you been on the board?
I've been on the board forever, for 12 years since this library started, and prior to that I was asked by Commerce Township to be on the board of the libraries that we had to use before we had our own, so probably well over 20 years.
So you've been involved for a while.
Yes, I have.
Describe the excitement in opening a new library.
Wow, what a day. It's like the proverbial kid in the candy store. You come in and you see all these magnificent things that we didn't have in the old one, all the books together, the DVDs, everything. It was just, and the people that came. So I wasn't the only person that was really excited. It was wonderful.
It sounds like an amazing opportunity to be a part of. What are your hopes for the new library?
Well, I think that my hopes have rather been met in a way because I see so many people here. And not only that, I am thrilled because this is really pretty much the center of the township. We have around us Commerce School, we have Clifford Smart, Central, Northern, even Oakley Park is not far away. So I think that there will be so much use for this library, and that I think it will be kind of the center of our community.
So it's a great way for everyone to really get involved.
Absolutely.
And do you think the library use will increase with the facility?
Oh, definitely. And I'm sure that you've heard from others. On one day, we had over 800 people. And I think we had something like 250 new library cards that went out in just a few days. So I think with it more towards the center of our community and within walking distance of some of the neighborhoods, that it will get a lot more use.
And is there anything else you would like to add?
I just want to say that I'm thrilled to be here because it is in the most beautiful setting, lots of trees around, and I think we're going to do more things like putting up a playscape for kids. So I think it's a place to walk and come and visit and sit and just enjoy the atmosphere.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And now I would like to introduce to you the Executive Director of the library, Connie Jo Ozinga. As the Chief Librarian, what is it like to open a new library?
It's exciting, frustrating, it's a ton of work. I've done it before, and I kept telling the staff it's just going to be crazy. You just need to have a good attitude and just walk your way through it. They moved 90,000 books, and we had a crew working with us, a professional book moving crew. We've got all these people that work here that normally stand at the desk and check out your books, and they spent 2 weeks moving books and putting books on shelves. And it was amazing how much physical labor it turned out to be. They just looked exhausted every day when they left. And I was really, really proud of the work that they did while we were doing the moving of the books. So,
And what are the best features of the new library?
oh, this library has so many cool things. I think my favorite thing is the 8 study rooms. And last week during finals week at Wild Lake Schools, they were full. Every second school was not in session. We even had a couple parents show up to reserve one for when their kids got here. We talked to a lot of those kids because we're new. What are you guys doing? What's with the study room? A lot of AP students. We saw a lot of math and physics on the whiteboards in those rooms. We were really pleased to see that students were here using those spaces. We really needed that kind of space. The other thing I'm really, really pleased about is the plugs. These days you sit down, you plug in. At the old library, we had rearranged the furniture so some of the tables could be by the plugs in the walls. Here, the tables have plugs in them. All the new tables have plugs and USB ports in them, even the little end tables by the easy chairs. All the old tables have had plugs and USB added to them, and they have been if you're sitting at a table in the library now, you are plugged in. And I'm watching that and I'm seeing that. I want to see people how they're using it. They are plugging into those plugs in those tables. So that's probably my 2 favorite things. I really like that we have given the children's department its own program space. The space is called the Robin Room, and you'll see that space if you look at story time later this morning. And we always had one space. Now we have a big open program space near the front door that'll hold 78 people and has projection and public address system and so on in it. But the kids have their own room and they don't have to fight over availability in order to have programs and so on. We've also got this great conference room that'll hold about 20 people that we're calling it the Dodge Room. And once we get the rules and regulations all finalized, that will also be available for people to use for groups. We've had the Chamber Executive Board in it. We've had the Wild Lake Schools Art Teachers Committee has met in that space. And just to have all the space that we have here, we're going to have the school art show here this year instead of at the town hall. We're going to have a display of screen print versions of all the artwork that was in the Detroit Institute of Art's Inside Out program in Commerce and Wolverine Lake the last couple of years. So I'm looking forward to having those things in this building. We've been open for a couple of weeks. We're going to have a dedication. I'm calling it Party in the Park on May 13, and that will be our official dedication after the soft opening that we had a couple of weeks ago.
Those sound like amazing spaces to have to study in and use. So how much larger is this library compared to the previous facility?
The previous facility was 20,000 square feet, and this building is 35,000 square feet, so it's not twice as big. And in fact, it's not 35,000 square feet. I have memorized this number. It is 34,926 square feet. So close to 35.
It's close. All right. So how long did it take to build?
The construction part of it took 18 months. There was maybe 6 months of planning before that. So there's this long involved stage where you sit down with your team, your architects, your construction manager, and your staff, and you start out by making a list of everything you want your space to include. That list, that document is called the program for the building. And then that dictates how the architect models the space, the various sizes of the space, how the pieces fit together. And it takes a good 6 months of thinking like that to really get to a blueprint of a building. You go through a couple of versions of a floor plan before you get final on it. So you get 6 months of good work ahead of time, starting with the planning, ending up with drawing the blueprints, and then bidding out the whole thing. The construction takes about 18 months. We started construction in August of 15 and then opened at the beginning of 17. So that's about right for the time of building a library building. I've done a couple other ones before this one, so I kind of know how it works.
And I heard you mention the architect. Who is the architecture company that you choose?
The company changed its name while we were working with them. They're now Daniel Cermak. Dan Whistler is the chief architect on the project. They are about to start working on the Heartland Library, so they're kind of staying in the neighborhood for another project.
And the library is amid a park setting. How do you plan to take advantage of the new setting?
We're really excited about being in the park, and that's why we're saying our dedication is going to be a party in the park. We're going to do some inside-outside programming for kids that day, as well as politician speeches and the kind of things that you would do on a dedication day. The children's room program space is designed so that you can go out the doors, and there's sort of a patio there. So we are hoping to do outside programming. We are hoping that some of our nature-oriented programming can move outside. And we'd like to offer a lot of park-oriented, nature-oriented programs using our new and lovely location.
That sounds like a great opportunity to have. Are there any other points you'd like to add?
I'd like to say that this building project came in ahead of schedule and under budget. And I would say that's due to our construction manager, Coomer Construction. We're very pleased that it worked out that way. And we're very proud that it worked out that way. None of this money was new tax dollars. We didn't have to hold a millage for a library building or anything like that. This money goes back to '94, in fact, when the township passed a library millage looking toward the future. And while they didn't carry that out as quickly as they had hoped when they did get to opening the library, there was a reserve balance because of that from '94 growing. And any money we didn't spend in our budget in a year would also be added to that. So we're also very proud that we did this without any new tax dollars. This building's almost twice as old as the old building. We expect it will take less than half of the cost of heating and cooling and electricity. All the electric in this building is LED, and there's some very cool lights in the children's room. Do not miss the cool lights in the children's room. But everything is LED. When the construction crew came in, they put a couple of those street lights on the entry road, and when they got the first couple of electric bills, they realized that those street lights were running for pennies, and so they went ahead and put the rest of the street lights in right away instead of waiting until the project was finished. I'll also note that in January of last year, a year ago, we did a last beam ceremony, which was the last metal beam going up into the superstructure of the building. And I think it's really cool. We did that in January of last year. It was freezing cold, and then opened in January of this year, and it wasn't. It was slushy, but it wasn't freezing cold. It's kind of cool to me that that's January and January that we opened. So that was fun to do with the board and some of the officials and so on. But this building is so big, and it has so many seats, and it has so much cool stuff, and it has the program space. Great children's room. Still more chairs coming and tables coming. We've still got a lot of furniture to bring in, so we're excited about it.
It seems like the library had a great outcome. Thank you so much. As you can see, the Commerce Township Library is a place you will want to visit often. Thank you for your support of this library, WLTV, and Walled Lake Schools. We hope you get your library card soon so you can check out books and join in the reading.